we talked about honoring the dead, but
Yeah.
on the same token, our funeral rites,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, and
Mm.
the amount of money that we spend for the.
Yeah.
What's your take also on that?
Yeah, I think for funeral rites, it's natural in any culture. I even learned in one Asian culture, um, when someone dies, they embalm the person, and whichever room the person was sleeping in, or if the person doesn't have a room, they buy the coffin, they put the person in the coffin, keep it in a room, and embalm it for so many years, to the extent that some keep the dead body living with them for 1 to 5 years before they can finally do the final rite. And even when they have buried a person, they bury them in such a way that every year there's a ceremony where you dig up the dead person, bring them home, feed them, sit with them and have fun with them, then go back to bury them and all that. So in the first place, funeral is part of us. But like I say, for Africans, we overcopy everything. That is our problem.
Okay.
You get it? Because so far, with what I've seen about the white culture, I remember when I was in Europe, there was a classmate who lost their grandmother. And so she asked permission to go for the funeral. I was like, oh, if I had time, we would go and accompany you. And he was like, accompany me for what? You don't even know the person who has died. What's your business? Don't worry. For us, it's just small family. We do a little sitting. We just bury the dead. And that's it. So that's the problem with African culture. When someone dies, we want to inform the whole world. And that's the annoying part, because sometimes the person who even died may not have had a good place to sleep or food to eat, may be going through health challenges and no one is even supporting. And because there's that mindset that you have to do gargantua funerals for the people, now people have to go around borrowing money for funeral clothes, you know. I know in some cultures, when somebody dies and you don't do funeral cloth, then you become the talk of the town. I say, yeah, mobo mobo. So that factor has to be in. And buffet parties, I mean, why should someone die and you have to borrow money to bury the dead? That's what I don't understand. And for some, it's actually business, because they actually look forward to cashing in on the funeral. I remember for one lady, she even testified that because her father was a military personnel, and I mean took care of a lot of people, left a legacy. So when he died, they got so much money that she testified she bought a car out of whatever profit that came in. You get it? So for that side, if it will come that way, it's good. But the point is, the culture has become such that when someone dies and you don't even have money to support them, you can't even show your face at the funeral. If you can't buy the cloth, then you don't have love for the family and all that. So it's all the extra prices that go with funeral. That's, I feel, is a problem. You get it? Because in some cultures, it's just so expensive. For me, I would wish, I don't know how true this is, but a few documentaries have shown that ancestors were not buried in like, the coffin nowadays, they polish it so much that it's actually preserved in the ground for so long. But some stories I've heard is that when some of our ancestors, when they died, they were buried in depletable materials, such that eventually they became one with the soil. And sometimes even plants were put in the place where they were buried, so that when you see this plant, you always remember this person who died. But now it's like so much price, so much prestige. But at the end of the day, I always say a lot of things have changed. So you can't just tell people to stop whatever they are doing, because now we have funeral homes, and I mean people eat from some of these jobs. I hear for some cultures, when you go there, they have funeral mourners. I don't know the name they give to them. I can actually hire people. Yes, who come and cry at the funeral and then make the whole thing sad. And out of that, people also get money. They have people who can dance with the coffin and all that. Recently, I saw a video where they were dancing. They were dancing with the coffin, and the body just fell out of the coffin. I mean, Charlie, the person is dead. And I always say this one thing I love about the Muslims. It doesn't matter your wealth, whatever it is. When you die, you are back to the earth. So they just put you where necessary in your white calico, just go in peace. And I mean, they still make merry, but as compared to religious people and traditional people, I prefer the Islamic way of burial to our own. For me, I always say in future, I will tell my children, don't invite anybody for my funeral. Just do a simple thing. Bury me when necessary, you know. Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know if
let's
they
move
can do
on.
that for you.
Yeah.